Right. 21 May 2022. And today I am happy to be back after a whole week of being away. It's been a very, very hectic week where I was basically out, out of action. And I'm sure many of you are wondering what's happening. But obviously, you can see that I'm as good as before, as good as new. And obviously, today I did a lot of running with the dogs, and you can see what we did here. That was me there. That was me there with my little dogs running, and it was very, very interesting after a long, long time of not doing that. But anyway, today we've got a quick discussion, and many of you have been wondering what's going on with the topic that we chose, which is Chamisa Weapons Fund blocked. And this is something that we've been talking about for the past 2 to 3 months. Nelson Chamisa's party, the CCC, in total disarray as far as fundraising is concerned. The party of Nelson Chamisa is in trouble once again with the fundraising that they've done in the United States. And this fundraising was done by Tonderai Bashi and Tinoma Mbeu, Juma Olete, Nyaradzi Ncube. Those guys raised funds, 120,000 US dollars. This fund was supposed to buy for Nelson Chamisa. And what has happened is that it is in the United States of America. They've blocked these funds since 7 December. These funds have not been released because of various reasons. And Nelson Chamisa's people in the United States, they've hired lawyers. And these lawyers are trying to get GoFundMe to release the funds. So this is going to be very, very quick. I'm not going to take your time. This is a matter of public record that these funds have not been made available for Chamisa to buy his car because the project has been deemed a military project. People have gone to authorities in the United States and they've said Chamisa is trying to buy weapons and bring them into Zimbabwe. And if you think I'm making this up, let us share a video of Juma Olete talking to my brother Jethro Sike this week. You will see that this is legitimate. This is something that was said. I hope that I get this this video here, which was okay. Let's look at this video here, where Juma Olete is talking to Jethro Sike. The reason why this fund was blocked is because it was deemed that they were doing a military project. So let me quickly do this. Unfortunately, I'm a bit rusty here with all this time that I've been out of action. So let's share this properly. Right, so there is Juma Olete, one of the fundraisers, speaking. And my network also seems to be a bit slow. I don't know what's happening. So let's do this. Let's see if this is going to connect. Okay, it's not slow. It's coming up, but once it comes up, we're going to share it. Okay, I'm seeing darkness. I'm not seeing the actual screen. Let's try to play it and see if it's going to play.
Alleging that we are trying to import weapons of war because we had said an armored vehicle. Okay. So GoFundMe is
unfortunately this is not playing.
That are very thorough that
they don't know what's going on. But let me give it a try later on. So I'm going to stop this to play it again later on. It's unfortunate, but is that in the United States they've been told that this fund, which was being raised for Nelson Chamisa, was a military project which goes against the terms of or conditions for GoFundMe. So for GoFundMe, you can raise funds projects, and this is one. Sorry, man. Sorry about that. Sorry about my network. I don't know what's happening. I'm losing my network here. So I think I'll need to restart where I was before this all went down, before my network went down. So what is happening is, so let me share that video again. I hope that it plays this time around, because we seem to be having serious network challenges here today. And still, we're not able to connect. So I don't know, I won't be able to play these videos that are, okay, let's see.
Things. We have been in constant fights and struggles with GoFundMe for more than 4 months, close to 4 months now. Trying to explain to them that this is a civilian vehicle. It is just for the protection of the individual that we are talking about, and there is nothing that is on sanctions that is involved in this vehicle. So it was a process that had to include a lot of people behind the scenes, including to an extent that we had to find a lawyer in America to be able to help us. At some point, about 4 months ago, GoFundMe had said they won't be able to give this money to us. We had to put up a very spirited war to say, no, you cannot do that. This is not a political thing. We are not politicians. We are just citizens, and we are raising this for the protection of a citizen. We have seen people raise money for Trump, for different other people who are even politicians using GoFundMe. Why should you specifically stop ours? And through all these fights, we managed to come up victorious, and they later on agreed to releasing the funds to us. So as I'm talking to you now, we are busy with the process of withdrawal of the funds. Anytime, any moment going forward, the funds might be with us. I'm sure those that are making noise on social media, they've caught wind, or they know that the car is about to come now. So they know that there are ways that they've tried, have failed, and nothing can stop.
Right. So I just wanted to play for you the full clip with Juma Olete, and you understand that this process has been happening since December. So that is 7 December. Today we're on 21 May. So it has taken over 5 months for these funds to be released. Normally it takes 5 days for GoFundMe funds to be released. And you could hear what Juma Olete said. There are various terms and conditions of a GoFundMe, what you can do with money from GoFundMe and what you cannot do with money from GoFundMe. The real issue here is that the blockage was not from GoFundMe, but it was actually a serious behind the scenes matter. You heard Juma Olete saying there, it involved security structures in the United States who were blocking these funds. And as we speak, Nelson Chamisa, he's using another car, which is already there in Zimbabwe. If you listen to that interview with Jethro Rusike, you also hear that he mentions that the car is already there. There is a car in Zimbabwe which was bought by one faction within the CCC because they are fighting the people who reported that this money was meant for a military project are not people from outside CCC, but it's a faction within the CCC which went on to report that these people who were involved in the fundraising were actually ZANU-PF and intelligence people. So they went there with that report to say the people who are collecting money are under sanctions. They are not members of the CCC, but members of ZANU-PF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come again and I want to play for you again another clip by Simbaj Kanza. And this clip will give you a bit more understanding of what is happening. There is serious confusion surrounding these fundraisings. And I hope I get this video and it doesn't give me any problems. Let's look at what Simbaj Kanza here said when he was speaking about the very same issue a few months ago. This has been a very, very big issue. So let's see what Simbaj Kanza is saying about Tondrai Bashi, one of the fundraisers.
Okay, Mamchiti Bashi aka suspend. Okay, I see. Okay, no, thank you for that. Thank you for alerting me there, because Munyanga Shitara Kuti Bashi is an MDC alliance leader.
No, they were suspended.
Defended Chengetai Semwayo. Do you know who? Do you know who made Chengetai Semwayo to continue a change factor MDC? Did Tonderai Bashi, brother, 2018, after my elections, I got all biodata remkadzi uyu. Who she is, where she comes from, and everything. Ndaka aleta MDC. Ndaka look mun uyu. This is who she is. 2019, pane pakaitika demo raakaonekwa achitora mapicture achitoendesa straight kuCIO kuHarare, Washington. And I got again, so I was now combining all that. This is too much confirmed. This is just too much. So now, nda later MDC Kudaro, the person who actually stood up could defend this CIO, this evil woman, is Tonderai Bashi. Wamaisa imimi pagomo. Juma Ulete was very irresponsible. And I'm hoping that he's going to apologize to the people. If anything happens to the people's president, if anything happens to the people here, through data mining, ever the money goes, you trace, and right now, Munya, if you send me 20 pounds right now, you will know exactly where I am physically. It will take you a few seconds to know where I am. This is where I was saying here, we need to protect, right, these vulnerable leaders who are sacrificed to protect the public as well, who voted these leaders. We to protect Nelson Chamisa.
Okay, so you see what Simbane, from where I'm standing, you have said earlier on that you pass on information to leadership in Harare, and we do have a security department. I do believe they do have the capacity to handle whatever information that is passed on to
No,
them.
but this one, yeah, that department, yeah, the department needs to be reviewed before the people of Zimbabwe, Munya, before the people of Zimbabwe. Let's admit this was a flop.
Right. So I think let's wrap this up. And I want to obviously apologize for the weak network that we had in the beginning. And everything seems to have settled. So let me recap. The fund that was raised for Nelson Chamisa, 122,000, it has been deemed by security in the United States to have been raised by suspicious people for suspicious purposes. And this information was coming from within the CCC. People around Nelson Chamisa, they went to the United States and said the money that has been raised is being raised by people who are under sanctions, it might not even reach Nelson Chamisa. Other people who made donations also went to GoFundMe and complained that their money is going to be abused. They want their money back. So there were multiple complaints to GoFundMe, and there were multiple complaints to people within the security structures in the United States to say that this money is suspicious, and the 4 or 5 people involved in fundraising, as we have said before, I've made a video about this before, were part of Zimbabwe intelligence. They were not part of the CCC. As you can see, Simbachi Kanza has also gone out and said that the person who started this fundraising is trying to get closer to Nelson Chamisa, to have the claim that he helped Nelson Chamisa with his campaign, and to be as close as possible to take credit. And this has made other people very, very unhappy within the CCC or surrounding Nelson Chamisa. So what we have here is, firstly, people within Chamisa or within Chamisa's party are fighting against each other, against these very funds. And they've made these claims that there is a military project underway. You also remember that Chamisa was linked to Magaya. A few months ago, I made a video about that, where a claim was made that weapons were being brought into Zimbabwe to assist Chamisa. And this information is coming from people around Nelson Chamisa. There are people around Chamisa who think that there's need to defend him. And this information is flowing to both the Zimbabwe intelligence and also the United States intelligence. And this is why these funds ended up being blocked. Of course, the source of all this is the jealousy among the guys who are in CCC, who have not been raising funds, and the guys who are raising funds for Chamisa, who are not in CCC. Everyone who's raising funds here has got no official position in the CCC. And this has brought these two factions, which are competing, resulting in the money being blocked. And for the past 5 months, all attempts to get this money to Zimbabwe have failed. On top of that, one of the GoFundMe terms is that you cannot raise funds for a jurisdiction that is under sanction. So you cannot raise funds for jurisdiction under sanctions like Zimbabwe through GoFundMe. You cannot raise funds for elections. You cannot raise funds for military purposes. And this is what these funds are alleged to have been for by people who made reports in the United States. So this is basically where we are now. The money is stuck in the United States. If you go right now online, it's standing at 1,000. It's standing on 122,295, and it's not been released because of these reasons. I've also mentioned to you that a lot of the people who put the funds here are anonymous in their groups, and all this is against the GoFundMe terms of service. You cannot do that because people end up putting money together for purposes that are not stated in the actual GoFundMe. So I think we've wrapped this up nicely, and this is obviously a developing story. Nelson Chamisa linked to funds which are said to be for military purposes. First, an armored vehicle is one of it's military equipment. You're not supposed to be importing that using money that you raise through GoFundMe. Then reports from people around Chamisa who say that there is a military or a link to Zimbabwe intelligence to the people who have been raising the funds for Nelson Chamisa. You also know that one of the fundraisers, Tino Mambeo, he tried to start another fund for $540,000 which was also blocked by GoFundMe because it was called Defend the President Fund. And also that's one of the funds which were deemed to have a military purpose. So all this is obviously coming from the infighting within the CCC. There's a lot of fighting among the guys because there are no structures. There are no formal structures for raising funds. And this is the source of all these problems. Now, let's go to the comments. Let me wrap this up very, very quickly. And let me not take your time over a weekend. Let's start at the beginning. Right. Wellington is saying, welcome, my dear brother. Okay, I'm back, very, very fit, very, very strong. And everything is perfect here. Nothing to worry about. You saw I was running this afternoon. With my dogs, we did like 2 kilometers. So yeah, I'm good. Then let's look at other comments. Tintech says, "Munhu anogara ku South Africa unoshaya network asi unogara ku Chamisa." That's not true. I don't know what's happening. I just moved to a new provider and it's a nightmare for me. In fact, when I went to Zimbabwe and I came back, I had to move because my new provider was a nightmare and nothing has changed. So obviously something has happened to my network. And this is, I probably have to move back to Zimbabwe to get good network. All right, let's look at with Knox. There is no factions in the CCC. Please be factual. Okay, let me tell you about the factions in the CCC and why Chamisa is not appointing a structure. The biggest problem we have in the CCC is that there is a difference of ideologies. So what I can call ideological bankruptcy. There's no central ideology in the CCC. Chamisa, if you ask him now, what is the way forward? Dialogue, demonstrations, or confrontation with the Mnangagwa government? He doesn't know. There are groups in CCC who believe that they should negotiate with Mnangagwa. There are groups who believe that they should demonstrate, and there are groups that think that there should be a violent action. Those groups exist around Chamisa. None of those three groups has taken dominance. Chamisa is totally out of control. He cannot control what is happening. He does not know what to do. You will see that by the time you get to the elections, Chamisa is going to lose. And when he loses, he's going to face a big, big backlash from the guys around him. Because everyone is going to say, we should have done it this way, should have done this way. As we speak right now, Chamisa has not gone out to the public or to his members to show them the constitution. He's not gone out to his members to show them a plan of what he plans to do. There is nothing in the CCC. If Chamisa was to win an election in 2023, Zimbabwe will be worse off. There is no plan of what to do. There is no economic policy. There is no political program from Chamisa. Nothing at all. The CCC is in shambles because of factions. They don't know what to do with Kupe. They don't know what to do with Monzora. They don't know what to do with Mnangagwa. There's no plan in the CCC. That is where the factions are coming from, because people around Chamisa, they know this. Fadzai Mahere does not know what his status is. Tendai BT, all the guys around Chamisa, they don't know what their status is. That is the problem we have in the CCC. And then Yanken Monana, you say big issues to you, Gambakwe. Of course, I'm way ahead of you guys. I'm always telling you things before they happen. And then Mukoma Jesfas is saying, Hamudi Chokwadi, you must lose 2023, Muite Soba. They will lose, definitely. The CCC cannot win an election the way they are currently. And then I want to look at the last comments because I see my network is going down again. And then Taurai says, Chamisa leads a peaceful organization. We don't need guns and grenades to liberate Zimbabwe, Gambakwe. When Chamisa is quiet, you make up stories. It's not about Chamisa. This is something factual. This is something that is happening right now as you speak. I'm not making up this thing. The money is stuck in the United States of America. Authorities in the United States of America, they're not sure where this money is going to go if it's released. GoFundMe has been told by people around Chamisa that this money is for military purposes. And also that it's being sent to people who are under sanctions, that the guys who are raising these monies are working for ZANU-PF. So this is exactly the situation. It's not something that I'm making up. This is something that is true. Right, so I think this is done for today. I apologize for the very, very bad network that we had today. And I don't know how I'm going to solve this problem. I've got 4 different networks and all of them are not working. So I probably got hacked or something. So we have to solve this problem in another way. Like I said, I might have to move to Zimbabwe to get good network. Right, thank you very much for watching. And I really enjoyed talking to you for the first time today. Tomorrow we'll be back. We want to look at what is happening at Borodo Brook. I've got some latest information of what is happening there with Shingiminyeza and one flamboyant millionaire. They've been at each other's throats for the past few weeks. So let's see where the case is now. Who is who, what is happening, and what exactly is taking place in Borodov Brook, why there's so much noise in that place, and what is going to be the end result. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. We'll try to have as many videos as possible this week so that we catch up, and I'll try to get hold of Senator Kalipani Pugeni so that we have something during the week. Thank you very much, and good night.
Kuno apo pano mama wanna get it night. I know food I miss, I know food I tebe, I know kaya mari. Kama kwetu tikom, kwetu tikom usasai. Ano kaya mari.
Kamba kwe uyo anotara mari anogaya mari garai mamunzwa paninyaya pano zvamunoda kunzwa zvinotaurwa pano madiko kumunzwa mugova ne.com. Kamba kwe vanogaya mari vanotaura mari vanoziya mari. Kamba kwe vanotaura feya kuti pamberi zvichafamba sei. Vanoteerere zvikubatsirei mukufamba kwenyu zvikubatsirei. Mirai ndikudze kuti chokwadi pano chizere. Kamba kwe vanogaya cash vanopa mafacts vanotaura straight vane evidence vane confidence plus intelligence
Entertainment, current affairs and news. Kamba kwe.com usasarire. Kamba kwe anugaya mari.